Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 241, season 10. Today's date is July 29th, 2023, and welcome to the show. I got an interesting program coming up. Today, I will discuss the restaurant chain, Fuddruckers. Yeah, those wonderful hamburgers. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm a hamburger junkie. I can't help it. I could eat one every day. And the second part of the show, I will discuss about the children's television program Ding Dong School that originated here from Chicago. This goes way back in the 50s. And it was hosted by Miss Frances Horowitz. I'll talk about the history of the show and, of course, about her. But right now, the show will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Graham Crackers cereal from Kellogg's. Okay, so here's a commercial from 1980, and it features George the Milkman. After this commercial is played, I will talk about who George the Milkman was, the actor, and about my memories of this cereal. Okay. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll be right back with the show. Thank you, everyone.
Here comes George with graham crackles.
Hi, George. Oh, hi, Harry. You know, I'm not a kid anymore.
Oh, sure you are. I bet you still like the taste of graham crackers and milk.
Oh, yeah.
Here's to memories.
Kellogg's Graham Crackers.
You bet. It's a special graham taste made light and downright crunchy. Made for milk.
These are crunchy, George. Come on and join us.
Hey, I'd like to, but now I gotta run.
Kellogg's graham crackles.
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Graham Crackers cereal. That's CRACKOS. Pardon me. I remember this commercial, also the product. It was around not very long because I love graham crackers, also with milk. It reminds me of Golden Grahams from General Mills. I love that cereal. I really do. But I've said this many times. Now I eat Honey Nut Cheerios, because I'm almost 60, a couple months. So I still get a hankering for that. Anyway, the actor who played George the Milkman was actor Herb, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Vigran or Vigran? I don't know. And he was a character actor, and he started his career from the 1930s all the way to the 80s. And he appeared in a lot of television, a lot of TV, for example, Adventures of Superman. He played on Dick Van Dyke Show, Perry Mason, Gunsmoke. He appeared on 4 I Love Lucy episodes, like that. One of the famous, well, not the famous episode, one of the most memorable episodes he played, when I grew up in the 70s, he played the guy at the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, where Marcia Brady is going to get her license, and she went for her road test, and she froze, and she got nervous, and she didn't pass. So the second time she went there, and she got a pep talk from her father saying, "If you're nervous, just picture the people in their underwear." Because Mike Brady, her father, says, then you would start laughing, and then all the stress will go away. And she did that when she went there for a second time, and he pictured the driving instructor in his underwear. That was hilarious. He also appeared in another episode. I forgot which one it was. Anyway, so yeah, so he was born June 5th, 1910 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, and he died November 29th, 1986. He was 76 years old. So he had a very, you know, very versatile career. He was great. He really was. He seemed like a nice man. He really did. Okay. You know, all right. So at the beginning of the program, I said I was going to talk about the Fuddruckers Hamburger Restaurants that were in the Chicagoland area, and also the children's television program Ding Dong School. Before I get started, I'll give you a health update. Yesterday, I went to the endocrinologist. That's a doctor that treats like diabetes or the problem I had with my calcium elevated. She did that, so I went there for the first time. She asked me a lot of questions like that, and I asked her questions too about the calcium. I asked her kind of a dumb question. Do you, when you drink a lot of eat or drink a lot of dairy, does that affect your calcium in your body? She goes, no. If you overdo it, like for example, you drink a lot of milk and like that, no. If you drink a glass of milk a day or eat dairy products regularly, no, it's not that. So I think it's the medication I'm taking, the Xtandi. So that's what's affecting. So she gave me a order so I can get a blood test, which I was going to do that anyway next week. I was going to do that Wednesday, but I'm decided to go Monday. So she gave me an order. So the test results will go to her, the endocrinologist, probably my regular doctor, and also to my urologist. So we'll see about that. And then for my upcoming operation, this is to stretch the scar tissue around, around my bladder. Excuse me. That's scheduled for August 3rd, not August 4th. I misheard the doctor again. I'm glad they called. So the funny thing is, the oncologist called. I scheduled one somewhere else, but they want to do it near the hospital on the same day. So Thursday, I'm going to be busy. So I have to be there in the morning, see the oncologist. Then I got to wait about an hour or two, and then I'll be admitted to the hospital and then have the operation performed on me. That's the urologist. So I don't know how long I'll stay. Maybe I'll be released the same day or stay overnight. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. So we'll find out. And I will keep you posted. I have done that on my social media accounts, also on the podcast, to let people know. So this will be, for the operations, this will be the third time. Because as a prostate cancer patient, this happens all the time. It happens all the time. It's annoying, but it makes the urine flow and all that. It could lead to very, very big complications. Like it happened the first time. That was horrible. That happened about a year ago. I think, that happened about a year ago. So I had to stay for the hospital for about a few days. So my urologist is keeping tabs on me. So that's great. So as for the oncologist, we'll see what he's going to talk about. I never met him. So it may be a change in medication or maybe take the medication out to see how well I'm doing. I mean, the PSA is 1.2. So that's great. I don't know. I'm hoping yes, but I'm afraid the cancer might come back. So that's scary. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of faith and pray to God that everything will be fine. Okay. Now let's go and have some fun. I'm going to talk about Fuddruckers Hamburgers. Oh boy. When I posted this the other day that I'm going to talk about Fuddruckers, people went crazy because they sort of missed this place. It's still around, but not in Chicago. It's elsewhere in the United States. The headquarters is in Houston, Texas. That was founded in 1979 as Freddie Fuddruckers. The founder's name was Philip J. Romano, and the headquarters is in Houston, Texas. It's not a Chicago brand, but it's well known around here when it was introduced. So it was introduced about the late 80s, something like that. I don't know which restaurant opened, which location. I'm not sure. But I found a ad from 1988. So that gives you an idea. I think it was opened about 1986, 87. And it had 5 locations at the time, and I'll read them off. One was at Highland Park. That was at 1538 Clavey Road. The other one was at Calumet City, 1990 River Oaks Drive, near the River Oaks Shopping Center. Also at Madison, Illinois, way south, near Lincoln Mall, 300 Town Center. Also at Palatine at 1151 East Dundee Road. Also, there were 2 locations in Downers Grove. One was at 1500 Branding Lane and Downers Grove South. The first one was north. This is south at 7231 Lamont Road. Now, the one I went to a few times was in Schaumburg, and that was at location. I think it was located somewhere else first, but the one I went to, Schaumburg, that was located at 436 East Gulf Road, and that was near where I used to work at American Express Travel. And I went there for lunch, not by myself. I went with a few people. For some reason, we went down to dinner for something going on. I forgot what the event was. That was the first time we went to Fuddruckers. I go, I never heard of this place. No. I never heard of this place. Oh, before I mentioned that, there was another one, I believe, in Orland Park. I think there was somewhere on LaGrange Road. Maybe. There could have been other locations that I didn't mention. After this podcast is done, you can comment on my social media accounts, that is. Feel free to do that. Anyway, back to the Schaumburg location. That's the one I went to, and that's where I was introduced. And I go, I've never been to this place, and I'm a big, huge hamburger fan. I love hamburgers. I can eat one every day. Doesn't bother me like that. So it was serving. So you go there, you place an order, and I guess I'm trying to remember, they try. Or you sit down, you wait for your name to be called or your number. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. And then you pick up your hamburger, and over there in the restaurant, they have like all the toppings that you want to serve. It's like a salad bar, like that. And you have a choice of condiments or vegetables. For example, ketchup, mustard, relish. You can have that. Mayonnaise, of course. Vegetables, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, peppers, if you like. Anything you want, jalapeno peppers, of course. Also, and it came with fries. I think it's those potato wedges. Those are good. I like that. Yeah, that comes with a drink, too, like that. Oh, that was good, like that. Usually my hamburger, I always get ketchup, mayonnaise, lettuce, and onion. And what else I put? That's it. A cheese if I want to. But, if cheese is fattening, I try to cut that down. But I love cheeseburgers. Just plain cheese. Nothing spicy, nothing hot like that. And I loved it. It was great. I'm glad I did. So I went there a couple of times at lunch, but, it was kind of a little far. So like that. I'm sure they took, I'm sure you could take it to go. Maybe you did. I'm not sure. And a lot of people said that the buns were real hot and good and delicious. And they also had other things on the menu. Some people mentioned chickens, maybe chicken salad. They had chicken salads, maybe hot dogs, chicken tenders, grilled cheese. Maybe they did. I don't remember. All I remember is the hamburgers. I really did. I remember the hamburgers. Okay. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial for Fuddruckers. This is from the mid 1990s, and after after the commercial is played, and when I come back, I'll talk about a little bit more about the restaurant. Okay, so sit back and relax, everyone. Thank you.
My Fuddruckers burger is the world's
greatest.
half pound.
Wow.
Actually, it's chicken topped with all
I want of lots of dab of salsa and
mayo with tomatoes.
and tomatoes on a big
A small dollop of
yummy
Jalapeno cheese
no cheese
on a fresh baked bun
fresh baked bun.
baked bun with cocoa for ice. No ice.
Free refills.
with my fries.
Ooh, it's
Heavenly.
gone.
Who makes the world's greatest hamburger? Fuddruckers and you.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Fuddruckers. The commercial explained how would you get your burger and all that, and all the toppings like that, which is kind of fun. They ran into some financial problems. Probably in the late 2000s or early 2010s. I don't know. They start closing restaurants, and there are only a few left. I don't know when it left the Chicagoland area. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I didn't pay attention. so uh so so they're still around. For example, there's a few in other states if where you live. Like for example, there are two in Arizona, one in California. There are about five in Florida, two in Georgia, two in Louisiana, two in Massachusetts, two in Michigan, one in Mississippi. That's at the casino. Oh boy. One in Branson, Missouri. I don't know how that tastes. Two in Montana, two in Nevada, two in New Jersey, four in New Mexico, four in Pennsylvania, one in Puerto Rico, and there are about six in South Carolina. There's one in Pigeon Forge, where Dollywood is. There's one there. And there's a lot in, I'm not going to say how many are in Texas, but there are quite a few. There are quite a few indeed. Also, there are five in Virginia. Also, there's one in Canada, one in Mexico, and one in Panama. Okay. So they're still around, but they're not here in Chicago. So if you're traveling or you live in those locations that I mentioned, help yourself. I don't know if they taste the same like it was back then. I don't know. I can't say. And that's a shame, because a lot of people that fond memories of that, they still miss it. And I don't blame them like that. So I don't know. Maybe people wanted to bring it back. I do too, but I don't see that happening. No, it's like Baker Square, because there's only like about maybe two or three left in Chicago. Before it's popping fresh. So we'll wait and see about that. I don't know. Okay. So that's enough of Fuddruckers. And right now I'm going to talk about the children's television show, Ding Dong School. Oh, this goes way back. So Ding Dong School, that was called the Nursery School of the Air. And this is one of the earliest TV programs, one of the children's programs, that it was like kind of like Romper Room or like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Sesame Street, and I had one host. It was a woman. Her name was Frances Horwich, excuse me, also known as Miss Frances. That's what you called her, and she was a very nice lady. And in the beginning of the show, they played the theme song, and you would hear the big bell going ding, 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 like that. So she would just have a conversation with the kids, and she would do do activities, like she would demonstrate, like for example, fingerprinting, making toys with pipe cleaners, modeling clay, do drawings like that. She would teach lessons on safety when you cross a street, or be kind to people, be respectful. That's very sweet. She really, and then she would recap with the lessons and the activities that were covered that day, and tell you what supplies you need for future programs. If you did modeling clay, she would tell you where to buy it, what kind of clay, or any, uh, what's that called? Like arts and crafts or stuff like that. And that's and it became very popular. And the show began on here in Chicago. It was WNBQ. Now it's WMAQ TV in Chicago. It's Channel 5. And it's premiered on November 24th, 1952, and ended December 28th, 1956. Ran just 4 years. And then, let's see. So she moved to New York, and then she went about 1955. So then, yeah, first time was in Chicago, and then then it was canceled, and they wanted to extend the show from half an hour to an hour, but that's too much. She said, "No, that's too much indeed." So they canceled it, and then she came back to Chicago and signed an agreement with the WGN TV on Channel 9, and the show began in 1958. Now, I don't know if it's new programs or it's reruns. Maybe. I'm not sure. And that lasted through early 60s. You can still find some programs on YouTube. A few are full episodes. Some are the introductions. If you'd like to watch, I watched a couple yesterday, and I liked it. It was fine. It seems so primitive. It's nothing flashy, not state of the art MTV. Like that. No, it was simple, straightforward. And she talked to the kids like people. She was, and a lot of children loved her. Parents loved her, watching her. Okay, so right now I'm going to play the theme song to Ding Dong School. You will hear her voice and also hear the bell. When I come back, I'll talk a little bit more about Frances Horowitz, also known as Miss Frances. So just sit back and listen to the theme song of Ding Dong School. Thank you, everyone.
I'm your school bell, ding dong ding. Boys and girls all hear me ring. Every time I ding dong ding, come with me to play and sing. Ding dong, ding dong ding.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the introduction of Ding Dong School. This is from 1952. I want to clarify something. You know what? I don't know if this was true. I mean, it did premiered on the air on November 24th, 1952, but they had like a preview earlier on October 2nd, a month before. And there was no publicity, nothing announced. They just aired it, and then it just took off and became famous like that. And so let's see. So I'll talk about right now about Frances Horowitz, Miss Frances. Okay. So she was born on July 16th, 1907 in Ottawa, Ohio. Then she earned her bachelor's degree in the University of Chicago in 1929. Very few women did this, going to college or have careers like that. And then she probably earned her bachelor's degree education. And then her first teaching assignment was teaching first grade in Evanston for a few years. And then she earned her master's degree at Columbia University. And then she directed junior kindergartens in Winnetka. And then she was named Dean of Education at it was a teacher's college in Chicago. And then she earned her doctorate at Northwestern University in 1942. Yeah, and so that's a wow. She's amazing like that. The funny thing is about her, do you remember, like in the beginning of the program, she would say, "How are you this morning?" And then she gave viewers time to answer the question, but you wouldn't hear them because it's on TV. Like that. And she became an instant celebrity, an instant success, and so that was great. So she was famous for her, for hosting that show, Ding Dong School, and to this day, a lot of people still remember her like that. And after the show went off the air, and then she moved to Channel 9. The program aired beginning in August 1958, and then it ended like in the early 60s. That was syndicated, and then she hired to do some specials on television on Channel 5. She did that. Also, she was also hired as director of children's programming on the new television station at the time was Channel 32, WFLD TV, which we now know as Fox 32. Okay. And then in later years, she moved to Scottsdale, Arizona in the 70s because of her husband's health. And she did some lecturing at Arizona State University, then worked at Public Broadcasting's television station. So she's remained in television, but mostly behind the scenes like that. And then, unfortunately, she passed away on July 22nd, 2001. She was 94 years old. She worked up to the end. She really did, in a way. So that's wonderful. What a nice lady. What a nice lady indeed. Excuse me. So what a career. What a show. Like that. As for the show, there was also merchandise. I think there were coloring books, like stories, maybe blackboards. Also, there were products she sponsored. The show sponsored, I think I remember, Wheaties cereal. Also, there was chocolate drink mix, Cocoa Marsh, I think that was that. And she did those, and she did them on the air. There was not just other people doing it. She did those products herself, like that. Okay, so that's it for this program. I'll give you a recap of what I said. I talked about the Fuddruckers Hamburger Restaurants that were in the Chicagoland area. Also, the children's television program, Ding Dong School. So this program will be this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Also, it will be on my YouTube channel, Vanna Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Please subscribe to those, and also on my YouTube channel. Also, it'll be posted on my social media accounts: Facebook, Twitter, also Instagram, and also the new one, Threads. If you're on Threads right now, that's a new one like that. As for a new episode, I don't know if I'll do one tomorrow. Maybe I'll think about it, but probably Tuesday. We'll see. It's going to be a busy week. I'll let you know. Okay. So this is Pete Costanas, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the program. Hope everyone have a great weekend. These past few days have been hot, but this week it's going to be cool and nice. Looking forward to that. So here's bye bye for me, and here's a little traveling music with Ray Rayner saying bye bye bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.